You're right, lads. Today has come finally that I get to change this horrible steering wheel. It'll go from being like this, all grotty and like grim around there, to... So first of all, you want to disconnect your battery. So I just usually disconnect the negative side and just prop it down there, really, make sure it's not touching any metal around. So now the battery's been like disconnected for about 20 minutes. We now can safely remove the airbag module without it like blowing up in our faces or anything. So to remove it, you want to go down here and you'll see on the side of the steering wheel here, they have these little tabs which actually push in. And it has one of them on each side of the steering wheel. So basically you want to take about like a hex. This is a hex number 5 and you want to push it in. And you need to do that on both sides, and then you should be able to pull forward and the airbag module will come out. I'll see how well I can capture me doing this. So now you want to take your little hex and you want to push in just there on the steering wheel. So like that, and it should push forward. Some wire and other. So currently I've got one side out, it like clicks out, but this side needs to come out. It isn't as easy as the other videos make out. It's a lot of wiggling around and you'll feel it when it like clicks into place sort of, but it definitely isn't that flipping easy really. So I'll keep working on it and get this one to pop out. After that it's alright, it's just one bolt and a few connectors. Well, that took a long time for me to get it in place. That was quite frustrating. I can now see why, really, because if you look, this is where you insert your screwdriver, and if you just focus in there, it's that little bar there which you have to push on. And you can see I've been marking it. I have been touching it with the screwdriver, but you need to just push it in. So I'd recommend probably a fairly big-headed screwdriver, but in the end I got quite mad and used a big one and it's kind of marked it, but it doesn't matter because I've got a nice steering wheel over there. I really didn't want to mark it. So now you want to disconnect all of the cables, so we'll just do that now. Is that little guy disconnected? I know you need a little flathead for these little guys. Makes it much easier. So, put your little flathead in there. Just need it a little bit higher. There we go. Come on. There we go. Nothing about this has been too simple, to be honest with you. Alright, there we go. So, to get them out, you push underneath. Really doesn't feel that nice, to be honest with you. There we go, like that, and just sort of tame them out. Everything's a battle with this. Seriously is, but I suppose it is life-saving, so you kind of don't want them sort of popping out. There you go. That's how you get that bit out. So now you want to remove the T50 Torx bolt, which is torqued down to 30 Newton meters, so it's fairly tight. I've got my breaker bar on it, but you're gonna need to use probably your hand in the steering lock, and just give it a little turn like that. Oh, it's not actually even that tight really, so it's not too bad to get loose. I'll just instead, I think, now I've cracked it loose, I think I'll use the ratchet, so that should speed it up. Damn, it proved to be prepared. There we go, I've got my ratchet. By the way, I should have mentioned, get your steering wheel straight and your wheels straight whilst you do this, because obviously you don't want to have it in the wrong position when you take it off. Where's that out? Wow, that bolt is huge. See the size of that beast? And it's got a bit of thread locker on, so I'm going to need to put some thread locker. Usually I would suggest keeping the bolt in, but I know that these probably aren't that tight, so you just carefully extract it out. And I've just realised that this will need disconnecting. Back on. So to get it disconnected from the clock the clock spring, you just pull it out, and then we should be able to slide it out nicely. Just take that out and come on. Well, I'll just pull that out when I actually have another hand. So strange not to have a steering wheel there. Right, we'll put the nice new one with the steering wheel controls on now. So just put the camera down. You want to run your little wires through there from the clock spring. These are the airbag ones. And you want to sort of line up the clock spring and make sure that the steering wheel goes on the spindle. It takes a bit of wobbling to get it in place, but you can sort of like feed it in and then the clock spring will click into place, just like that really. And then you just want to connect everything up really, and that's it. It's not particularly difficult. So just put the connector into the clock spring. That's that connected up. So now we want to put a bit of thread locker on the T50 bolt. I've got a bit of triple QX thread locker and seal from good old Euro car parts. So you want to just put some bit of thread locker on. I'll just put it in the position while it was in before. I put way too much on there, but at least we know it's not going to come loose. So now you want to just put your bolt in carefully with your fingers. There we go. And then run it in like that. So we'll just run it down. And there we go. We'll just run it down like that, and then we're going to torque it down to 30 Newton meters. Tying it down with my Tecton torque wrench. This is quite difficult doing this whilst holding the steering wheel. There we go. So now we're going to have to plug all the extra plugs back in. So the airbag ones and the earthing one. And we've plugged that one in already, so that's ready. And yeah, it should be up and running. And we'll probably need to program it in using Opcom, but I'm not sure. So let's get to that. So now we want to plug in the sort of earthing. Yeah, it goes in that way with a little clicker on the outside. Like that, and then I'll make that noise. Then you want to take your airbag ones. And obviously, they go in the colours what they correspond to. There we go, like that. And push that in place. Push that in. And then push that in place, the little clickers. So then they're nicely done. And then you want to rotate it around carefully like that. Like so. And it's just a thing of get it in place like that. It all clicks in. Doesn't that just look 10 times better? That is so much nicer. Here's the comparison from grubbiness to a lovely limited edition Corsa D with the nice red stitching to go with my red car. So yeah.